I turned 70 last month. 70. It feels strange saying that out loud. I still remember being 17 like it was yesterday, running barefoot in the rain, thinking life would last forever. But it doesn't. Let me tell you my story. I was born in a small house with a tin roof. When it rained, the sound was so loud we had to shout just to talk. We didn't have much money, but my mother used to say, "Poor houses can still have rich hearts." My father worked with his hands, hard hands, the kind of hands that crack in winter. He wasn't a man of many words, but every evening he would sit outside, wipe the sweat from his forehead, and smile at me like I was his greatest achievement. I didn't understand that smile back then. I do now. When I was 18, I wanted to leave. I wanted the city. I wanted money. I wanted to prove I was more than a poor boy from a small town. My mother cried the day I left. I hugged her quickly, almost impatiently. I didn't know that would be the last time I would see her healthy. You never think about last times when you're young. You think there will always be another visit, another hug, another conversation. There isn't. The city was loud, fast, unforgiving. I worked in a factory during the day and studied at night. I was tired all the time, but I was proud. At 25, I got my first real job in an office. I bought my father a watch with my first big salary. When I gave it to him, he didn't say much. He just looked at it, then at me, and said, "You've done well, son." That was the only time I saw his eyes water. He passed away 2 years later. The watch stopped working years ago, but I still keep it. At 28, I met her. She was laughing at something her friend said, and I remember thinking, I want to hear that laugh for the rest of my life. She wasn't impressed by my job. She wasn't impressed by money. She liked that I listened. We didn't have much when we got married. Our first apartment was small. The paint was peeling. The kitchen light flickered. But we were happy because we were building something together. Then life got busy, really busy. Children came, bills came, responsibilities came. I worked longer hours. I told myself it's just for a few years. But a few years became 20. I missed bedtime stories. I missed school plays. One night I came home late. My daughter was asleep on the couch, holding a drawing. It was a picture of our family. Everyone was there, except me. When I asked her about it the next day, she said, "You're always at work, Daddy." That sentence has followed me for 40 years. I wasn't a bad man. I never cheated. I never gambled. I never drank too much. But I made one mistake. I thought providing money was the same as providing presents. It isn't. Children spell love as T-I-M-E. At 50, my body started slowing down. At 55, I retired. And suddenly, the house was quiet. Too quiet. The kids had grown. They had their own lives. I had spent so many years working for one day that when one day finally came, I didn't know what to do with it. My wife and I would sit at breakfast in silence sometimes. Not angry silence, just unfamiliar silence. We were strangers who had shared a life. So we started walking together in the evenings, slow walks, talking about memories, laughing about things we once fought about. And I realized love doesn't disappear. It just waits for you to slow down. 3 years ago, she got sick. Hospitals, machines, beeping sounds. I held her hand the way she held mine on our wedding day, except this time I knew I might have to let go. The night she passed away, the room felt unbearably empty. After 40 years of hearing her breathe beside me, silence became the loudest sound in the world. That's when I understood something deeply. We think we have time. We think we can say, "I love you" tomorrow. But sometimes tomorrow never comes. Now I live alone. The house is full of memories. Her cup is still in the kitchen cabinet. Her sweater is still hanging behind the door. I talk to her sometimes. Maybe that sounds foolish, but when you love someone for that long, they never really leave you. At 70, you don't fear death the way young people think. You fear wasted moments. You replay your life at night. Not the big achievements, not the promotions, not the money. You remember small things. Your child's first step, your wife's laugh, your father's proud eyes, your mother's warm hands. That's what stays. If I could sit across from my younger self right now, I wouldn't tell him to work harder. I would tell him, go home early sometimes, take more pictures, hold your loved ones a little longer. Don't let ego win arguments. Say sorry faster, forgive faster, because pride feels small when you're sitting alone at 70. I don't know how much time I have left, maybe years, maybe months, but I know this. Life is not about being busy, it's about being present. If you are young and listening to me, please don't rush your life away. Success is beautiful, but love is what you will search for when everything else becomes quiet. I have wrinkles now, slow steps, gray hair, but I also have stories. And if this is the last chapter of my life, I am grateful. Grateful for the rain on a tin roof, grateful for a father's silent pride, grateful for a wife's laughter, grateful for children who still call me Dad, and grateful that maybe my story might remind you to live yours differently. If you still have time, use it well, because one day you will wake up, look in the mirror, and see 70 years staring right back at you, wondering how it all went by so fast.